Welcome to part 2 of my 100 subscriber special. Last week I did a bunch of these characters right here. I'm gonna try and put the text in editing, so it'll be there. And here's part 2's roster. But without any further ado, let's get back into it. Alright, so very quickly, I want to get Brawl Stars out of the way, and to start we have this updated version of Leon. Let me start by just removing his lollipop and the shuriken. You can see, well, basically I just adjusted his skin color, so now it's, more accurate to what you see in game. But yeah, this is updated Leon. Moving swiftly on, we have Mecha Crow. Hold on, I did not do that properly. Mecha Crow. So starting off, let's address how I built this. So the head is a very simple building technique I learned from Brick 101 on YouTube. He doesn't actually post anymore, which is kind of a shame because I like this content. But the head design, it's really simple. Travis brick on top of Erling brick, and then you just slap pieces together until it looks right. Really simple. You can probably make this at home if you want to. I hope you have a photographic memory though, because yeah, because remembering where certain parts go is kind of difficult. You're gonna have to replay this video quite a few times, I'll be honest. Now the torso is just kind of glued on because I didn't have anything that could fit in between. But don't worry, this is not super glue or acetone based glue. It's just hot glue from a glue gun. So I can just very easily remove it if I want to, but I'm not going to. The jetpack is very simple, just a hinge piece with 1x1 orange tiles and an orange stud, a couple of 1x1 light blue transparent slope tiles, and another 1x1 stud. So jetpack is really simple, and I just slapped a 1x2 light blue tile there, just because. And this is also sitting on one of these bricks here. These legs are very simple. I just kind of glue some 1x1 red slope tiles on the side of it. Follow up with some 1x1 gray cylinders, and this is just a 1x2 offset tile with the sides painted blue. But yeah, that is Mecha Crow. A quick side note, I do have the gold mecha variant of this, which is basically the same build, but with yellow bricks, which is kind of hard to come by. One thing though is that it is slightly taller, because for the feet I did use like whole 1x1 bricks, 1x1 yellow bricks. So I'm not sure about the torso, however. Yeah, the torso is a little bit more cleanly designed. The front of it is still, glue gunned on, but the side of it is as the whole 2x2 piece. So it's slightly more compact. And a one-time offer right now. Lex YouTube, if you watch this video, please comment. I would really love to give this to you. So moving swiftly on forward, I want to try and get as much Brawl Stars content as out of the way as possible so I can talk about other games. I do not have any Clash Royale minifigures today, but that's okay. Next up, we have Rockstar Cult. Yes, it took me that long to say. Or Elvis Presley, whatever you want to say. So instead of revolvers, I've switched them out for semi-automatic golden pistols, because because it just looks cool. I also added a holster on the right side. You can see the tassels on the right side of his foot right there, and on the left side on his jacket. The back is just a thunderbolt design. His head I custom made with just a very simple Sharpie. I cannot remember where I got this hair piece from. Okay, so this is officially licensed by Lego, so this isn't like a knockoff piece. But I'm pretty sure I got this from the Monster Hunter series. But yeah, that is Rockstar Cult. Alright, next up is Sprout. Now, first of all, its arms are kind of held together with a bit of blue tack. You can see it right there. Stick that back on. Now, the way I put the wheels on Sprout, it is kind of an illegal building technique. Actually, not kinda. This is an illegal building technique. So what do you basically do? You just take it and you just slide it in like that. And it has to be on this side, if not... Because if you do it with the inside of the stud facing towards the center of the brick, it will actually face inwards and looks like yeah, looks like it got a broken wheel, which are not that good. And there goes the arm. And there goes the wheel. Alright, so the leaf coming out the top of it, I just kind of glued on with some weak adhesive. Same with a little post-it note. Glued on, you can kind of see a little bit of the residue right there. It's kind of brownish. Removing this, you see that the plant inside are two pink flower pieces, but I just kind of snipped off one of the sides and just painted it white. Very simple. And by the way, this is also just a green horn piece that I'd whittled down into, slightly more of a stem. On the back, you can kind of see like what's supposed to be a fan unit. Not sure what the blue dot is, but yeah, that Sprout, really simple, really easy. On to the next one. Alright, so this next build, I kind of have to take this apart because this is really fragile. Because how would I just show it to you? Mega Light Mecha Bow, and yes, I did have to take this apart. I literally just said it, but we'll take this apart really quickly. And I'll split this into, I don't know, 4 bits. So we'll start with the legs and go up to his head. Alright, starting with the legs. So this is honestly just a lot of simple designs. A lot of this build is practically solid. Alright, so the reason why this is actually so fragile is because what I know about Lego Technic, I don't know that much. So if I just open this up, you can see that it's just a very bare bones design, which is, not very structurally intact. But it gets the job done. It holds together all right, as so long as you don't touch it too much. And it's able to stand upright. But these are just the legs. Moving up to the torso. Alright, time for the torso. Alright, so the first place to start is probably the backpack with all the mines. So everything is actually just quite simple. A lot of this are just solid pieces. This is just held on together by 4 studs. Really simple, honestly. This is held on by a hinge brick and not a 1x2 headlight. The missiles here on the very top are just very simple 2x2 red cylinder pieces with the grooves. Bottom 2 pieces are just 2x2 red bricks. So Moving on to the torso. Again, this is one whole solid chunk of brick. The shoulder pads here have the word bow written on it just because I thought it looked cool. You can see the arms aren't really held to the body that well, so that's why it's stable. That's why it's not that stable. Again, I don't know how many times I've said that. Just got extra pieces up top here. The head can't really move. There used to be the 2x2 spinning tile on it, but I just replaced it with a 2x2 offset tile. Alright, sticking the mine pack on the back, this is what it looks like. It's just kind of held together really precariously. And for the front, it's just, again, a couple solid plates just stuck together. And yeah, not all of these are white bricks, but that is the torso. Moving on to the arms here. We'll start with the fist. Very simple design. Little 1x2 plates with clips on them. Just stuck a few together. 1x2 light gray tile. Very simple. The palm itself is also really simple. This 2x2 circular plate tile that goes on the underside of bricks. 1x3 white plate. 1x1 gray cheese slope tile. Alright, so this is the left hand. You can see there's a watch here. Well, not so much a watch. It's more of like an interface. I don't know how to explain. I'll just show you what I mean on screen. But yeah. As for the wrist mounted crossbow thing, this is how the tip of the arrow and the base of the bow is held together. This is the build of the wings. 2x4 plate in white just to hold it together. And this is what the arm looks like. Taking it apart, you can just see the arm is a very simple and slightly fragile design. Again, it's just to make sure everything stays in place, and I didn't really think about structural integrity in this. So yeah, those are the arms. The design of the right hand is pretty much the same, except that there's no thing here. And, you know, everything's just in reverse. So yeah, those are the arms. Time to move on to the head. Finally, let's move on to the head. Now, just removing the top of it right here, you can see that this is practically hollow. Removing the sides here, you can see that the visor is kind of at an angle. Just tilt them towards each other, and that's a really good visor in of itself. You see the little neck here, back of the head. You can see that this part here isn't really held together by anything. It's just kind of there, so then the top of the head will stick to the head. Top of the head, the eagle part. You slap that on. It's a really cool design. And yes, that is giant light mecha bow. I hope that doesn't fall down. I hope that doesn't fall over. Alright, now watch me move this back into the corner. Success! Alright, now we're completely out of Brawl Stars territory. Everything from this point onwards is not going to be about Brawl Stars. Next up, The Unusanas grave. If you don't know what Unusanas is, you really had to be there to see it. That's what Mark always says. But to summarize, two YouTubers, Markiplier and Crank Gameplays, decided to collab, make a channel, just post random videos every day for a year, and then they just deleted everything. This was the channel's lifespan, 14th of November 2019 to 14th November 2020. As you can see, this is just a very simple design with the black and white contrasting itself really well. The only other color you can see is the orange for the candles and the gray base plate. But yeah. Memento Mori. Unusanas. Alright, next up we're going into Five Nights at Freddy's territory with the fox, starting off with this foxy head. Now there's not much to say about it really. It's just kind of a spare head. You can put a light in here to make the eye glow, to make it look like an actual prop inside of Raspberry Sprite. But apart from that, this is not the star of the show. Oh no. The star of the show is the Parts and Service McFarlane toy set that I had painstakingly recreated brick by brick. Now, some obvious dead giveaways is the wall design and the wires. Let's take a close look at that really quickly. You can see they're just kind of lightsaber hilts, pistols, faucet pieces, and arms, just T connectors, even more T connectors. I am not taking this apart just to simulate all the messy wires in the parts and service room. More wires here, more wires here. This one's actually stuck in place. I can make an attempt to remove. So same with faucet pieces, whatever this is called. More T connectors, pistols, lightsaber handles, and minifigure arms. Turning it around, it's really not that pretty on the back, which is which should be expected. Looking at the little closet here, you can see that there's a little Chica head right here. And not really that much in the shelves, but to go with this set, I do have Withered Foxy from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I'm pretty sure this does come in the set, so. Yes, again, this is a Brick 101 design. I literally just took this from Brick 101. I also don't have a hook piece as a minifigure arm, so this is kind of the best I got. Looking at the head, you can actually just check out his video. It's how to make Lego Foxy. Just search that up and type that in, and just the first thumbnail with this that you see in a similarly all white backdrop with 3 versions. That's Brick 101. But yeah, that is my recreation of Parts and Service, brick by brick. Next up is this. I'm not sure if I can even classify this as Lego, but if you zoom in really carefully, this is a miniature scorpion tank. I gotta be very careful while rotating this. You can see on the top, I painted the top silver just to simulate metal wire mesh that would usually go on top of a lot of terrariums. You got the scorpion itself on the inside, which is, I made this out of metal epoxy, which is why I'm not sure if I should classify this as Lego or not. And for the substrate, it's basically just wood chips from my ball python enclosure. But that is basically it. A mini Lego Scorpion enclosure. Last but certainly not least, we're switching gears over to Minecraft for the redstone battle custom environment that I've made. So just very quickly, these are 2 minifigures I put in it. I've forgotten their names. I'll probably put them up on screen. Alright, so moving on to the environment itself. You can see just some exposed redstone crystals right here. You got a lamppost. And this is my lantern design. Stud with a hole on the top. The normal torch color. Orange top, yellow bottom. Orange at the top, yellow on the bottom. I just kind of drew a black border around that to represent the lantern, and then the bottom is just a 1x1 tile in black. I just stuck that onto a pistol piece, the stud onto a pistol piece, and that makes a really good lamppost. Now, the rails here were obviously taken from a real Minecraft set, but with this thing you see right here, I had completely designed it from scratch. I just kind of laid some pieces down and then let my creativity take over, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. But that's gonna have to do it for part 2 of my 100 subscriber special. Please do remember to consider subscribing. It helps me out a ton. You can always change your mind later. And if you really like my content, please do ring the bell. Remember, part 3 is still on its way. But for now, that's going to be it for the video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.